everybody, it's me, Commander Neyo, and today we're doing something kind of special, actually. So as you can see by my helmet, it's Star Wars related, and today we're revealing, if you can look in the corner there, the Star Wars Squadrons official reveal trailer. I have not watched this yet at all, so I'm super pumped for it. I was going nuts when they announced it last Friday. It's such a weird story. It released via leak, and then it was officially released. And now I'm going crazy, because I want me a goddamn fight game. Or do I got into the south there? But, much as I love this helmet, which is fantastic, I use it for an actual pilot cosplay I have. I'm gonna have to take it off. Reveal to you my weird looking hair. Oh, God. Oof, ah. It's gotten super long. It's gotten down to the neck. I can have ponytails if I want to. But today, I'm here to react. So, let's get to her.
I can't shake them. Giving engines full power.
Think you can escape?
This is gonna be close.
Pilots,
Ooh, the 181st.
you are the Empire's strength. We do not accept defeat.
Remember why we fly. For hope. For the new republic.
Vengeance will be ours.
Wedge!
Seize that moment.
When the perfect shot makes history.
5 pilots.
1 squadron.
The galaxy's finest.
Holy shit! Oh, that was awesome! Okay, let's go through and analyze a little bit. So, we go through here, you know, your standard, okay, this is something I thought was kind of funny. Doesn't this kind of look like Rey from Rise of Skywalker? It looks exactly like Rey from Rise of Skywalker. That's why I was so confused. So, as you know, to start out, we've got like a standard sort of dogfight going between, in this case, an X-Wing and the TIE Interceptor, the overrated TIE Interceptor, might I add. X-Wing, best fighter ever.
Giving engines full power.
So that's, full power, okay. So this is more of like a cutscene sort of thing. This doesn't seem like something that would be gameplay-wise. God, that looks so good. So now we transition into a battle here. Battle-wise, this is actually quite interesting. First of all, cool little transition. So let's analyze some of the ships. So here we see the tried and true, the T-65 X-Wing, the greatest starfighter ever made. And it looks like it's different than most X-Wings. Like in Star Wars Battlefront 2, it had the red markings. This one has green and, I think, blue markings, actually. And it's got, if you can look, I wish I had a little color thingy, like a pointer. If you look sort of on the wing, up, oh god, like, if you look on the wing there, you can see the Rebel symbol. That, to me, tells you there's going to be ship customization, which, thank God, because I've been wanting to customize a starfighter for a while. if there's one thing I would like to criticize Battlefront 2 for, if you haven't seen, I made a video, I'll put that up here, or I'll link it at the end, but if you haven't seen, I made a video discussing Battlefield 5 and Battlefront 2 and their cancellations. One thing I will criticize them for is they did not do enough with Starfighter Assault. It was kind of sad to see. So that, to me, says ship customization. And I'm hoping that means I can have my own little R2-D2, or my own astromech unit, I should say. So then we move in, so now we move into the actual battle. So here we see a Mon Calamari cruiser, presumably a Home 1 type, so the winglet, like a wingless Liberty. I believe to the right, that's a Criterion corvette. My face is blocking the engines, sadly. Down here, we see the Arquettons, the Arquettons class cruiser, which was first seen in Star Wars The Clone Wars. The Empire continued to use them after, you know, they became the Empire. You can see them in Star Wars Rebels often. I believe the first use of the B-Wing was against Agent Callus and his blockade of Arquetton cruisers. They're neat-looking ships. I like them. Like, for Corvettes, they're really cool-looking. And then we have a TIE bomber, so we've got the TIE Interceptor, we have the TIE bomber now. That thing sucks. If you look to your left, in like at the far edge of the screen, you can see a U-wing with its wings in the like flight position. The U-wing had S-foils like the X-wing, where it could put them in or have them out. I believe out is speed. Like, I believe that's like faster flying, while in is like combat. Could be wrong. We also see an A-wing right in front of the X-wing. A-wing's second best fighter ever made. X-wing's still the best. Let's see. I believe those are TIE fighters on the left. You can see a trio of them right underneath the explosion, which is right underneath the U-wing. Oh, so there we get sort of a better shot of the Rebel fighters. X-wing, A-wing, U-wing, another Criterion, a pretty damaged Arquettons, and a decently damaged. That Mon Cal cruiser's taking a bit of a beating. Alright, so here we land. So this is interesting to note. So in this hangar, we see TIE fighters, we see ground support crew, but what I want to point out is the... I just realized my mouse is going to show up on the video. I have a pointer. Perfect. Is the red stripes here. Now, canonically speaking, the red stripes denoted the 181st, which in Legends was a TIE Interceptor unit led by Baron Sunter Fell. Well, originally they called the 180 worst because it was a horrible squadron. It was just like one of the weakest out there. Baron Fell trained them to the point where they were the Empire's answer to Rogue Squadron. They could go toe-to-toe with Rogue Squadron. In fact, some pilots from the 181st defected to join Rogue Squadron. There's not much to say about that. It's just, that's interesting. So I wonder if that's just like a customization option, or if there's like a story mode where you play as part of the 181st fighter wing. I'll get into some more of those details later. Because I haven't fully done a lot of research. I've been sort of staying away from all the information until I saw the trailer. But I've seen bits and pieces here and there. Pardon me.
You are the
So, if we go back a little bit, cool looking, you know, the TIE fighter suit to me is just kind of, it's not that cool of a flight suit. What is interesting is his pilot helmet has red markings on it, so, and I'll touch more on this later, but I think there's going to be pilot customization, which if there is, that makes me very happy.
You are the Empire's strength.
So in this scene, I think what we're seeing is the story mode. Now, something I will say that I do know is that there is a story mode to the game. I don't know how long it is. I've heard it's like only a couple hours. I haven't heard too much about it. But I've heard that there is a story mode. And judging the fact that this looks like a cutscene. What's interesting is that I wonder why some of these pilots have their helmets on. I mean, if you're in a briefing room, you're not going to have your helmet on. I mean, I've worn my flight suit, my, like, Rebel Fighter cosplay, and I will, like, walk around, like, my helmet off just because it gets a little hot and annoying. So that's interesting to me. So that means DEFCON 5, maybe? Like, they got to go out and fight? I'm not entirely sure. So that was some cool little scarring over there. I have no idea who she is. I'm going to assume, and this is campaign, it's one of the characters. I don't know their name, but that's a neat-looking scar.
We do not.
Someone else. There's our pilot from earlier. So here's what I was saying, is you've got those super green marks, like, everywhere. Like, on the, like, X-Wing. I just noticed this. That's a robot arm. That's a robot arm and a pilot. This is further confirming to me that there's pilot customization, and I am here for it, completely. I'm very happy about it.
Remember why?
Okay, so, here's the big thing in this scene. On the right, we've got Hera Syndulla coming in from Star Wars Rebels. Rebels to me is a bit of a hit or miss sort of thing. I enjoyed some episodes, didn't enjoy all the episodes. I was much more of a Clone Wars person. But I do enjoy Hera as a character. I'm super happy to see she's coming into this game. They've been really doing a lot with her and like the Ghost crew, so it's really cool to see. Otherwise, I have no idea who the rest of these people are. Except on the left, that might be Wedge. And I'll get into that in a little bit. So here we see a mission briefing. I don't know what it is, though. I don't know what that is at all. I know we see a Star Destroyer, a couple Corellian Corvettes, 2 Arquettans, and whatever the fuck that is.
Why we fly. For hope.
Actually, this is a perfect place to pause. So here we get to see more of the Rebel craft. So as I said, we have A-Wings, which all look interesting. Blue with the New Republic logo on it. We see what I think is, if you look in that right-hand area, there's a guy not wearing an orange flight suit, or anything like that. It looks similar to, like, Blue Squadron, from Rogue One, who wore the blue uniforms. We see a U-Wing, which is getting a lot of attention. The tried-and-true X-Wing, of course. And then we see a Y-Wing in the background. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Y-Wing, but, like, it's a alright fighter. It's a decent one.
For the New Republic.
Okay, so, that bit there, for the New Republic. So, one thing I do also know is that this game is set post-Return of the Jedi. So this isn't Galactic Civil War, which kind of stinks. I really was hoping it'd be, like, more Galactic Civil War stuff. But I'm alright with it being post-Return of the Jedi. It's close enough to the Civil War that it's still Civil War, technically. It's just not happening in, like, the main, like, trilogy of films in between 4 and 6. A little bit after, you're still using the same tech from that era, even if it's New Republic, and it's just an official thing. And I could pretend that I'm flying with Rogue Squadron from Legends. Oh, so before I actually continue, I just realized. That, I believe, that's not the TIE... Is that the TIE Striker? It's either that or the transport that brings in the Death Squadron... the Death Troopers. Not Death Troopers. Yeah, Death Troopers. Yeah, I believe Death Troopers. The Death Troopers from Rogue One. If I am wrong, let me know. I just saw a thing for them. I think it is Death Trooper, but if I am wrong, let me have it in the comments. But that's like their transport, or that's the TIE Striker, which was a TIE variant meant to be used in atmosphere, because the TIE Fighter itself is horrible in atmosphere. Due to the fact that planets in Star Wars work similarly to our planets. So the same way how planes have, like, drag and all that sort of stuff, that applies to the TIE, but the TIE doesn't really have wings to keep it up. So the Empire developed this, like a more, like, a planet-based TIE fighter with actual wings that could be used to fly like a military fighter. And it would counter things like the X-Wing, because the X-Wing, has wings. Believe it or not, it has wings so it can fly in atmosphere pretty well. Let's keep it moving.
Vengeance will be ours.
So again, you see that red mark on the TIE Striker. So I'm genuinely curious about whether or not this is the 181st that we're seeing. If it is, that's awesome. I prefer Rogue Squadron. I'll always prefer Rogue Squadron. But the 181st is, if you like Rogue Squadron, kind of gotta like the 181st. If you're a pilot person, you like all pilots. So here we get a cool little shot of just some stuff happen. Those might be mines, or those might be like Tabana gas canisters. I'm not entirely sure. We got X-Wings coming in. We have normal TIE fighters. I mean, this is the first time we've actually seen... Well, not the first, but this is like the clearest we've seen TIE fighters. So for the Rebellion right now, we've got A-Wing, X-Wing, Y-Wing, U-Wing. For the Empire, we have Interceptor, Fighter, Striker, and Bomber. And then we get some more images of curling corvettes. So that is interesting. That's very interesting. I've never seen that before on a TIE bomber. So I don't actually know what that is at all. That appeared in Star Wars Rebels when they first revealed the B-Wing. The B-Wing used a super laser of sorts to cut through an enemy ship. I thought it was kind of stupid, if I'm being completely honest. I did not like the fact that that starfighter had a Death Star ray basically built on it. So I'll have to see how this works. It looks cool. I mean, it looks cool cutting into a ship, but like, I'd much rather have them have like bombs, torpedoes, you know, that sort of thing, instead of super lasers. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but then again, this is Star Wars. Nothing makes sense, or very few things. Gotta fix my hair. Very few things make sense. You get an interesting view of the TIE bomber cockpit. It looks like it shows like we do have torpedoes and missiles, and I think that's the health on the right. We'll have to jump back to the beginning and see what I can see in the X-Wing pilot cockpit. Cutting through. So this made me super excited and super happy, because if anybody knows who that is, and you'll know by that helmet, that is Wedge Antilles. He is my favorite character from Legends. I love him to death. Him and Rogue Squadron are they're one of my favorite book series I've ever read. It's fantastic. And just the fact that assuming this is Wedge, that is his helmet. That is his helmet. Assuming that's the case, I might, be going crazy with excitement just because I'm really happy. Because personally, in the canon, Wedge has been kind of shafted, I'd argue. He hasn't been... Rogue Squadron and Wedge were kind of just... really left by the wayside. Wedge left Rogue Squadron... I don't know, we have, no knowledge of what happened to Rogue Squadron at all. They just... Their canon appearance shows up in Empire Strikes Back, and that's it. Otherwise, I think it's Red Squadron... Wedge doesn't really lead it, and then Wedge leaves, and then after he leaves, he joins creates Phantom Squadron or something, and then he turns into a ground spy instead of a pilot, and then leaves to become a academy trainer. And it's just that's not Wedge's character at all. He would fight to stay in the cockpit. And then, and then he does get a bit of a revival, kind of, in the books leading up to Rise of Skywalker. And in the film, he gets a brief scene. But really, Wedge and Rogue Squadron have not been treated well. I think Disney's missing a huge opportunity there, where you could get so much fan cred if you released some more Rogue Squadron stuff. It would be amazing. Now, while we're paused on Wedge, that little blue counter, so it does look like that is engine power almost, how much power you're putting into the engines, how fast you're going. I can't see much else. I can see the targeting computer, buttons everywhere. That's really all I can get from this. So now we're in the so here we go. Better view of a cockpit. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's see if I can... Okay, so looks like over here we've got our own health meter. I think the green is shields, and then the white is hull integrity. I don't know why the lasers are those colors. You can see one's purple, one's red. There might be a radar on the left. I think down below is our munitions, so proton torpedoes and anything else we're carrying. What's interesting to see is that we're inside something. I don't know what it is. We're inside something, dogfighting with TIE fighters. It's 3 X-Wings and a U-Wing versus a couple TIEs. I don't know what this facility is. I honestly don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, so here we get a good view of the Y-Wing. That blue might be its ion cannons. If you don't know the Y-Wing, the BTLB, hold on, I have the blueprint right behind me. Rebel. Okay, so it is. Okay, so, sorry, I have, if you can't, I have, blueprints for a, oh god, this camera. Ah, my finger. There we go. I have blueprints for a Y-Wing up there. So I believe that's the BTL-A4. Instead of having the bubble turret like it did in the Clone Wars, it came equipped with ion cannons. Which worked really nicely, actually. It was very useful, especially for commerce raiding. And we get to see the A-Wings, the U-Wing, and the X-Wing again going up against TIE fighters.
Seize that moment.
So that looks like a Rebel shipyard almost, or like a repair yard for, like, Corellian corvettes. It's somewhere in space, I have no idea where. Yeah, this definitely looks like a repair, like a shipyard for the New Republic to repair, its fighters. Not fighters, it's corvettes and capital ships. So there we get to see the TIE Bomber. So the TIE Bomber does have a bombing ability. So it'll actually be able to, like, normally bomb instead of just use the super laser or, like, rockets. It'll be able to drop proton bombs, which is pretty cool. I hope the Y-Wing has that too, because canonically they've both been able to do that.
Makes history.
5 pilots.
Okay, so this to me all but confirms pilot customization. I was hinting at it before with the different types of pilots and the different uniforms. This is, to me, I think, customized pilots. I mean, we've got I forget the species name, but that's the same species as Barriss Offee and Luminara Unduli. Jedi, one was a Jedi, one became a Sith during the Clone Wars. And she's got, like, a completely different, like, life support system. Like, her uniform's pretty standard, but, like, a completely different life support system. And she doesn't have a standard helmet. She's got sort of, like, the cloth, like a Hera's cloth cap sort of thing. She might not have her helmet on, but that's alright. The Trandoshan is Trandoshan, first of all. And he's got no gloves, no boots, and a blue flight suit and a blue flight helmet. He's got the standard flak vest and life support system. Then we have 2 people with just sort of the normal, like, X-Wing flight helmets and stuff. Normal X-Wing gear, like, you know, similar in ones to what I've got. You know, that sort of thing, right? And then, this is a new species, or it's one that I don't know. And they've got a robot arm and a funky looking life support system. Now, that might just be, like, specific ones for those species, but, like, that's the funkiest looking life support box I've ever seen in all of Star Wars. So, to me, this all but confirms character customization. Just the different pilots, we've seen the different uniforms, we've seen all that. I would be shocked if you wouldn't be able to customize your pilot, considering how much we've been seeing of them. It'd be kind of stupid not to, I'd argue. Plus, we get our, we get the Top Gun sort of walk. The pilots, helmets and all, like, yeah, we're the badasses. And I pause rightly with the Empire. The Empire is boring. Straight up. They have no customization. Outside of all their helmets look relatively the same. Besides their faces, which that guy doesn't even have a face, apparently. Like, come on, Empire. You can have a little bit of fun. Show us more of their helmets. I mean, like, you see the Empire, and then you go back a little bit.
5 pilots.
And you see this amazing, colorful mashup compared to
1.
this monochrome black look. Come on, Empire. Now, they do mention is 5 pilots. 5 pilots. There we go. What I know also is that the game is going to be heavily multiplayer focused. And it's going to be 5v5. for game modes. You've got dogfight. For what we know, we have dogfight, which is standard sort of team deathmatch sort of thing. Then we have fleet battle. And fleet battles where you need to go destroy like an objective or your enemy ships, like capital ships. Or corvettes, or anything bigger than a starfighter, really. So having it be 5v5, that's interesting. I was kind of hoping it'd be more fighters. I was hoping it'd be more people, like maybe like a 10v10, like a 20, or even like an 8v8 with Star Wars Battlefront 2. Now, if you want to do 5v5 deathmatch, that's awesome, that's fine, whatever. I hope for fleet battles, they bring in AI fighters. Because, like, it's not much of a battle, there's only 5 fighters flying around. Like, I really hope, and they showed some, like, big battles. I'm really hoping that they bring in AI to, like, pad it out, to really make you feel like you're flying in one of these, like, giant space battles. Plus, for people like myself, like, I enjoy flying quite a bit. I enjoy flying around, I enjoyed it in Battlefront 2. I'm not the greatest at it. I'm not super good at it. So, God, my beard is glistening in the sunlight. Oh, God, not sunlight, my lamp. Oh, no, not my lamp, but my light. Oh, God, I'm going off topic. But, like, I'm not that good at it. So having AI ships around really is helpful for people like me, where it helps me learn a bit more, and I can still have fun. Like, I'm not getting shot down constantly by more professional flyers, or people who are better than me. I'm able to do some good by, like, shooting down AI fighters, getting points, learning, getting better, and just overall having a lot more fun time, because I feel like I'm doing something compared to getting killed over and over again.
Squadron.
The galaxy's finest.
So there we also saw, let me reverse it back. Again, different helmet. That looks like Dak's helmet, actually, from episode 5. But it's different helmet, entirely. There's gotta be pilot customization.
Galaxy's finest.
Alright, so here we see 3 X-Wings, a Y-Wing, and an A-Wing. Corvette. Beautiful skybox, might I add. Okay, that's a cool shot. That's a cool shot. The Star Destroyer rising from the clouds to meet the Rebel fleet, which I believe, like, at the end of that, got a Mon Calamari cruiser, but, like, that's a wicked shot. Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, I'm super excited for it. Now, what is going to be interesting is this. So, you know, rendered in Frostbite, not all images appear in game. This is not a gameplay thing. It's very much like game footage. So keep that in mind. But look at the date. It's launching in October. It's June now, so we have July, August, September, October. We got 4 months. 4 months until this game comes out, which surprises me. I'm actually very surprised. I would have thought that it would have come out around the same time as the new gen consoles are. If you guys don't know, Xbox Series X, gotta get a better name for that, as well as the PlayStation 5 are coming around holidays of 2020. Don't worry, I'm going to be working to pick up an Xbox Series X because I want Halo Infinite, which is supposed to be coming out with as a launch title for it. This is surprising to me. I would have thought it would have come out later to go coincide with those console launches. But no, it's coming out near the tail end of those things. Now, I'm wondering if EA is going to partake in the practice Microsoft has. Microsoft right now is a thing where if you... 4 games that are going to be on the Xbox Series X... if you, if you purchase for the Xbox One, then you if Sumica Company does this, you automatically get an upgrade to the, next level. So you get an upgrade to the, Xbox Series X whenever you get it. But now, ooh, a link. I think we should press it. So yeah, that's the end of the trailer. Let's go through. Let's keep digging. Yes, I would like to leave YouTube. Thank you very much. I could pre-order it. Not gonna pre-order it. Join the galaxy's finest. Master the art of combat. Let's see. Let's get briefed. Let's get debriefed. Man, I'm just realizing this webcam is, it's very see-through sometimes. Alright, so plan every skirmish with your squadron in the briefing room before taking off evolving Battlefield Squadron. Alright, so this is just a pre-plan, so we get to pre-plan beforehand. That's really cool. It might not even be around, so it might just be referring to, like, sit back with your friends, plan, and then go into the battlefields. But if we actually get, like, a time to plan out our plan of attack with, like, ships and stuff, that's really cool. That's something I don't think I've ever seen before in a fight game. And let's see. So we have 2 plans confirmed. We've got the Shattered Moon of Galaton? Gelatin? Galicia? Yeah, I think it's Galaton. I'd have to hear it pronounced. And of course, the gas moon of Yavin Prime. This isn't Yavin 4, but we're going back to the Yavin system for some battles. So, that was weird. Sorry about that. So take full control of different starfighter classes from both the New Republic and Imperial fleet. So yes, this is going to be New Republic. This isn't just going to be Rebellion. This will be New Republic, which, fine by me. It's the same thing, really. Such as the X-Wing and the TIE Fighter. Oh, so that's interesting. So modify your ship. Obviously, we knew ship modifications are going to come in. But this bit here, divert the power between its systems. So that means that system thing, like, you can actually set, like, in the universe, you can be like, set all power to forward deflector shields, or rear deflector shields, or, like, that sort of thing. So in this, it could actually be very in-depth to the point where, like, you could actually, like, set most power to lasers and not a lot to engines, go super slow but have, like, a lot of firepower. Or if you want a tank to put in some shield. That's interesting. That could actually be, assuming this is what I think it is, that could be really cool for, like, fight combat. I don't think I've ever seen something like that that's that in-depth. Stay on target. Yep, so intense 5v5. Unite with your squadron to trip the scales of monument of fleet battles to take off on a thrilling single. So there is a single story. Holy shit! Oh, that's awesome! There's VR support! Oh, that's so cool! Oh, that's awesome! There's VR support! Sorry, I never made a video about this, but a while back, when I owned, so my family, we like games, so we own a PlayStation as well as an Xbox. I play more of that, my brother plays more of the PlayStation. We had a PS4 VR before we gave it to a family member whose their personal one had broken, and we weren't really using that much. But I got to play the Battlefront X-Wing mission. As you can look that up on YouTube. I can probably pop a link into it on the screen. Keep an eye out. I don't know where it is. But can you imagine playing the entire game in VR? Could you imagine playing the multiplayer in VR? That would be awesome. Flying around, like, actually, like, okay, hold on. Headphones come off. Headphones come off. This comes on. Like, this is what you see, and you're, like, flying around, and they have to, like, actively look around, like, pardon the chin strap flying around. Canonically, a lot of pilots who had facial hair did not actually wear their chin straps, but, like, just looking around like, oh, God, they're behind me. Oh, God, or, like, I see, like, just... Do you know how cool that is? That's so cool! And then, you know, other words, there's a story mode. That is pretty cool too. I don't know how long the story mode is going to be, but it's there. And I'm happy. Every game should have, well, most games should have a first player, like a story mode, especially in Star Wars. Pilot stories, gimme. What I hope is that it's sort of like a 2 story modes in one almost. Like, you've got the Rebel path and then you've got the Imperial path. Because one thing I also didn't like about Battlefront II is its story mode. I hated it. I may be a Rebel flyboy, but I was really hoping to see an Imperial side of things. And we did for like 3 missions before, to quote Yahtzee Croshaw of Zero Punctuation, Iden Versio went from being the destroyer of, well, paraphrasing, Yatsukosha, but Iden Versio went from destroying Hope and all that to being a card-carrying member of the Puppies and Pom-Pom Brigade. So I wasn't too happy about that. So I hope it's like two different storylines and like you meet up at like one point and like that could be like where the story ends and that's where it's like, oh, go into the multiplayer and like that's your ending. Might be a cheap cop-out, but I think it'd be kind of cool. We also get a really sweet image of all the starfighters with like the X-Wings, the Y-Wings. What's interesting to see is like the X-Wings also during the trailer that I noticed was that the X-Wings were opening and closing their S-foils to go faster, which is canonically how that works. So I'm curious to see whether or not we actually get to do that in-game. And it looks like that is it. Well, folks, I don't know about you, but I am pumped. I am pumped for this game. It's been like, I know I'm bouncing around tabs and stuff, but it has been 17 years since the last Rogue Squadron game was released for the GameCube. 17 years. Since then, we haven't really had a flight sim, to my knowledge. I don't think there was anything else that came after it. The fact they're getting this now, and it looks super robust. Like, look, EA, I've got bones to pick with you. I absolutely do. You definitely didn't do well with Battlefront 2 starting out. You definitely didn't do well with Battlefield 5. But Jedi Fallen Order comes out, and it's fine. It's really good. And it appears you've listened to the fans yet again. Fans have been clamoring for a flight sim game for a while, and we haven't gotten it. My only worry is that this release is in like 4 months. Not even. This release is in like less than 3. So either they were holding on to this for a while and were like gonna release it like maybe later. But I'm interested to see the state of this game. I hope it's not being rushed. Motive is a very good studio. If you enjoyed the Battlefront 2 like flight sims, the Starfighter Assault, that was these guys. And they did an amazing job with it. So I am super excited to see what happens. Guys, I'm excited, as you can tell. I cannot wait to form my own squadron with my friends, and go out there and fly and fight. We're going to presumably be seeing more information about this at EA Play, which is coming up really soon, actually. Due to the, to quote the Game Grumps, since if you talk about the real world, you'll get demonetized on YouTube. So to quote the Game Grumps, due to the Backstreet Boys reunion tour going on right now, E3, a lot of those things have been canceled. So a lot of companies are doing like their own little presentations. I know Xbox's is happening in July. I'm going to be covering that because they're going to be releasing Halo Infinite gameplay. But the big thing for now is keep an eye out for EA Play, because I have a feeling we're going to be hearing more about Star Wars Squadrons. Alright, well with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed. This is something different that I haven't done in years. And now that I got some decent, setups, should be fun. I think this could be a really great time. With that, let me just... Oh, God. Oh, no. Sorry, I'm bad at outros, aren't I? But with that, this has been Commander Neyo. Signing off.